Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. I thought I'd show some love for the May 2022 to April 2023 catalogue and revisit the Tea Boutique. This is the Tea Boutique suite. There are 4 items in the suite, so there's the photopolymer stamp set, the dies, the boutique cards and envelopes, and the designer series paper, which is a pack of 6x6. And I think they feature mostly the new in colours, so there's Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis, and also Crushed Curry. And it's on pages 12 to 13 of the current annual catalogue. This is the card we're making. It's an interlocking gatefold. So this is the stamp set and these are the dies, and we're going to be using this one and the teacup and one of the little tags for the tea bag. There's also an orange slice, some hearts, little flowers to go with these stamped images, a bigger tag to fit larger sentiments and a smaller tag which fits the smaller sentiments. I'm also going to be using the layering scallop dies. I'm going to be using the largest scallop, the second to largest straight edge circle die, and the one that nestles inside that one. The other stamp set I'm using is Marigold Moments. I wanted just the Mother's Day sentiment from this stamp set. These are the 6x6 Tea Boutique designer series paper. Teapots, lemons, floral ones, teacups, flowers, leaves, flowers, teapots, flowers coming out of the envelopes, more busy teapots, and then this one. And we're going to be using this sheet. The inks I'm going to be using is Petal Pink, Sweet Sorbet and Garden Green. The Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and I'm just going to use the crumb cake one. They come in 5 colours, very vanilla, grey, smoky slate I think, black, white and that. So now let's run through the cardstock. The card base I have cut so that it's divisible by 2 easily. So in fact this is 8 inches across by 5 3/4 inches, and in metric that will be 14.5 by 20 centimeters. Then you score with the long side on top at 2 inches and 6 inches, and in metric that will be 5 centimeters and 15 centimeters. Then for the inside of the card, the center panel, you want a piece that's 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. In metric that will be 9.8 by 14.3 centimeters. And you need a piece of basic white that lays on top of that, and that has been cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. In metric that will be 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, and that's 9.5 by 14 centimeters. I'll set that aside. I need to stamp on it, and I'm not going to do that just at this moment. Then you need 2 Petal Pink pieces for the gatefold panels, and this measures 1 7/8 by 5 1/2, and in metric that will be 4.5 by 14 centimeters. So we'll glue that down as well. From the Tea Boutique designer series paper, I've cut this piece in a continuous line so that the patterns will match up. Well, the whole piece measures 3 1/2, by 5.5, I think. I've also marked the back, which is the left side and which is the right side and which way up it is, as you can see here, as a reference. So let's glue that down on here. Now you need 3 squares of petal pink, and these are 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. On 2 of them I have put adhesive sheets, and I've left that one blank. Okay, so this one will go on the bottom because that's going to show, and also you want the inside of the leftover circle once you cut the frame, and so you don't really want adhesive sheets on that piece, so we'll leave one blank, and the other 2 we have adhesive sheets because you need to strengthen the scallop frame. It's too flimsy if you only have one layer. The other piece of cardstock in petal pink is to cut out this element here, and that too has got an adhesive sheet on the back. And then you want a scrap of sweet sorbet for the cup itself, and that is cut as a solid piece, so you don't need an adhesive sheet on the back. And I want a scrap of basic white to die cut the 3rd largest circle, and also a little tab that says I miss you. So stamp that first before you die cut it, otherwise you might get your words crooked or off center. And on the basic white circle we're going to stamp first before we adhere the teacup on the front. Now, in the past, when I wanted to make a frame, I actually put the die inside the scallop frame like so. It wouldn't quite fit on like this, and in fact it marked my die. You can see the little pop marks, can you see that? And I didn't want to damage it any further, so I'm afraid I had to take the long way round. I had to die cut it separately, in other words. So I'll die cut my scallop circle first, both with the plain cardstock and these 2, okay? And this is my sandwich, platform 1, the thin die adapter platform 2, the base plate platform 3, your cardstock scalloped circle die face down on top of the cardstock, and then a top cutting plate, also a platform 3. And I'll do that off camera and I'll be back. So in order to make sure that you're cutting all the same way, you remove that piece and you want to glue that on top, and you want to make sure the scallops meet up. And I've turned it round the other way, so I'm gluing this to the underside of the scallop, because this is the layer. Sorry, make sure it marries up, because as you can see from the card, when this opens up, you don't want the raw edge to show, so you want the good side to show. So that's why this is in reverse. Bring back my platform, and you want to make sure that the scallops are all showing evenly, okay? And then press it down, put the top plate on, and then you can go and cut it. So this is the piece you want to reserve for this side, okay? And then you remove the adhesive sheet and stick it on top so that the scallops all marry up. Then in order to adhere it, you want, let's put that out so we can see it properly. You want it half-half, so make sure that that is equidistant between the outside, either side of that. Okay, hold on to it tight and flip it over and make a mark with a pencil. You don't want glue on that side, but you want glue on this side. So let's mark it so you don't make a mistake. And this is the side we want glue. So let's put glue on there. You want to scrape off the excess glue. You don't want any seepage. Okay, and make sure which side up is the card. I think it was this side up. So we want to have the glue on this side. So make sure that lines up. This is straight. So your lines here and here line up. You want it equidistant. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yes. Need to move it up a little bit. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Above the pencil mark so it doesn't show. Then you want the piece without the adhesive sheet on the back, and you want to pop it on there. Let's put it this side because there's a mark there, so let's put the inside this way. So that's the side that's going to be glued in, and we're going to lift that side up. Right, hold on to it tight and just draw a line on there, and it's this side that needs the glue, not that side. So let's put adhesive on this side. We want to make sure that it fits inside the circle, so feed it through there. Okay, pop that down and make sure that there's no edges catching. And then we can use a bone folder that's in line with the line I've drawn and rub off any pencil marks. And there's the interlocking gatefold. I've gone ahead and die cut the circle that fits inside this circle here. I'm just going to stamp the sentiment "I miss you" with my scrap of cardstock. Ink it up and stamp. Just a tip, now this is a photopolymer stamp, so you do need a cushion underneath because there's no cushion on the stamp, and if you want the ink to reach all areas you need the cushion to help spread the ink evenly. And it also helps if you've got something to die cut, especially sentiments, if you're not sure if you're going to get it straight or not, then it's best to stamp it first and then put the die around it, and you can reposition the die so that it will cut straight. Next I'm going to have to die cut my teacup and the overlay. Now I've already die cut my teacup and I'm going to lay it over the front of the teacup. You want to make sure that it's in alignment, because with the things being so fine it can get misshapen. So I'm just going to put it on top like so, and the rest should fall into place. And put it upside down like this and press it so that it bonds. And swap ink colours with Sweet Sorbet to stamp the flower. Bring in a pencil and rub off the pencil marks on the stamped images. Make sure that the ink is dry first. Grab some dimensionals and put that on the teacup. You might want to put some on the handle of the teacup. So I'll just cut off a strip. Pop that on. Apply adhesive to the back and make sure that the cup is straight and that it's free from the sides. Then I'm going to stamp her Happy Mother's Day in petal pink. Oh no, smudged it. Good job, there's a reverse flip side. And then I can stamp some flowers. Now I can glue this to the inside of the card and make sure that it is the right way up. And voila, there's your card. Oh no, I haven't finished. I've got my little label to put on. Now if I'd remembered, I would have done this before I put the teacup, glued the teacup on. So now I'm going to do it in reverse. So I'll put that on the back. Gauge how much baker's twine I need. Put the other end on baker's twine as well, front and back, to make sure it sticks. Then I'll just have to tuck it in. And get a mini dimensional, stick them on the back here. Like so. And ta-da, there's your interlocking gatefold Mother's Day card finished. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did like it, then do give me a thumbs up and share it if you can. I'd really appreciate it. All the list to the supplies I've used are below this video in the show more section. You can also read more on my blog at stampwithelaine.com. All the list of the measurements will be on that blog post. Thanks for watching. Bye.